welcome to Wilberforce. This session is all about introducing you to the course Public Services. You might be thinking about why you should choose Wilberforce. I think our results speak for themselves. Our students really enjoy the courses that they do and they go on to really good results after us. Also, I think it's somewhere which is a really nice place to be. You get that support, it's very student-centred, which I think would be important to me if I was choosing. About if you join Wilberforce, then what kind of place is Wilberforce? What kind of expectations do we have? What's it going to be like if you come to us? I think those expectations are very clear. You'll have lots of sessions, particularly in the first week, where we'll go through these in more detail, but very much what you would expect and what you're probably already used to from school. The results that we talked about on a moment ago, those results are based on the hard work of the students. It's the commitment that you put in, both inside the lesson, engaging in the lesson and doing the activities that are set, but also the effort that you put in outside of the classroom. And so those are expectations. If you want to get good grades, you have to be able to do those things. So that's really important, and we expect that of all of our students. So just to give you a bit of, perhaps a guide of what we mean by that, you are expected to spend the same amount of time outside of the classroom working as you do in your lessons. So if you look at your timetable and see how many hours you have with a particular teacher, you should also spend the same amount of time outside of work, outside of the classroom. So that could be doing homework, that could be doing coursework, that might be doing some preparation work for your lesson. So you might be given a video to watch that you need to do before the class because it's going to be something you're looking at in that particular class. Or as I say, it could be something more general like your coursework. So to help you with that, we do have lots of independent study areas. Lots of students choose to do that work in their study periods. So that will be sessions on your timetable where you're not actually in a lesson. Those are for you to study, so you can go and use the library or use a social area or whatever to do that work. And that kind of helps you to be able to get in all the things that you need to do. We also have a really fantastic enrichment program. It's built into your timetable, so we give you the time to actually do that. We recognise as students it's hard going to fit in studying and part-time jobs and whatever else you might have going on, sporting activities and such. So we provide you with time within your timetable so that you can actually do that. It's great for your CV to do something extra, for university applications. Everybody wants that student that's gone above and beyond and done something extra, and that's what it enables you to get that you might not get if you went somewhere else. Depending on what you choose as well, there may also be an option for you to gain a qualification, short qualification from that programme. So why choose Public Services then? You probably already have an idea of what the course is about. If you don't worry, that's what today's session is all about. But there's several reasons really why you might want to choose this as a subject. Career progression, there's lots of things that you can go on to. So, we look at uniformed public services as well as non-uniformed public services. So that would include things like looking at the prison service, police service, military, fire service, even things like local council jobs, military police, civil service, government jobs. There's a really wide variety of public services that we look at, and so that will enable you to have quite a wide choice of careers that you might want to go on to from studying this course. You'll also get the same UCAS points when you're doing level 3 that you would if you were doing A-levels. If you start with us on level 2, you will progress on to level 3, so you will get them once you complete the level 3. So that means that you can still go to university, getting exactly the same points as you would for A-levels. The most common subjects that our students go on to are things like public services, obviously. Policing studies has been quite a popular one, criminology, law, psychology, and anything kind of sport or fitness related tend to be the most popular choices for our students. But obviously there is a variety of university courses that you could do from studying public services. It's also a vocational course, so what that means is it's preparing you for a job. It's not just teaching you some content. The idea is that you're actually learning vocational skills. So it's very much about looking at building those sorts of skills that employers want. Because you may choose to go straight into employment after the course. You know, you might not want to go to university, you might want to go straight into a public service job. So we're preparing you for that. You will build teamwork skills, leadership skills, you'll learn how to research, you'll learn how to communicate effectively, you'll be able to give instructions, and an excellent time management as well for all vocational courses. Because they are coursework assessed, you will have build really good time management skills. So those are the things that will help you then when you go into the world of work. And for those going into university, you will obviously be able to use some of them skills at uni, but also ultimately, you know, for any job that you get at the end of that. There's also a nice variety of subjects. So if you're a student, then you might be sat there thinking, I really want to join the police, or I really want to join the military. And that's great if you've got an idea in mind. But there's also probably a big proportion of you that are sat there now going, I've got no idea what I want to do. And that's okay. You know, at 16, it's very, very difficult to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. And we get that. So if you're unsure, public services is quite a nice subject because it does give you the opportunity to do lots of different units that you wouldn't get necessarily if you chose another subject. So some of the things, we'll go through all the units later, but some of the subject areas, if you like, that we will look at will be law, psychology, there's a little bit of sport/anatomy in there, so fitness testing, citizenship. We even have units that look at things like the environment, that's a big upcoming sector at the moment, ICT, security, and custodial care, looking at things like prisons. So there's a really nice variety of different subjects there. So if you're not sure what you want to do, you get to do lots of different subjects and you're not getting bored. Another reason, obviously, is interaction with public services. If you want to join a public service, then you need to be able to interact with the people from those jobs and hear it from them, what their day-to-day job is like. So we will have a variety of public services coming in to college to be able to deliver different sessions, and I'll talk about that a little bit later when we talk about trips and visits.
In terms of assessment, it depends which level that you end up on. If you do the level 2, that's currently 100% coursework assessed. If you do the level 3, there's 81% coursework and 19% exams. What that actually means is you've got 2 exams and the rest of the units are coursework. Coursework on either of the levels can include written reports, written essays, it could be presentations, group discussions, so it will include a variety of different assessment methods. In terms of units, you'll see that there's a big crossover between the level 2 units and level 3. What that means is if you start on level 2 and progress up, you'll already have an understanding of some of those themes and some of those subjects which you can then build upon in more detail on the level 3. So we've got things like employment, teamwork, leadership, citizenship, those kind of cross across both, as well as some of the physical elements to the course. And there's also a few extras on each level. So for example, on the level 3, you've also got some law in there and criminology. So we also look at things like the third sector. So it's not just looking at uniform public services, but you also get to look at charities as well. The exam units on level 3, the first one is government. That looks at who the government are, how they get there, and how their decisions will affect protective services. And we also have the behaviour and discipline, which is a psychology based unit looking at why people behave the way that they do. So there's a really nice mixture of units across both of the courses.
Trips and visits, and there's just a selection of those that I've put on the screen there for you. We do lots of different trips and visits. We've got court visits as part of the law unit. We have teamwork tasks that you take part in. You can see one of them there on the board was the escape rooms. These are, you can see there's some question marks at the end there. These visits are all kind of dependent on what the students want, really. So there is no fixed, you know, idea. If there's something you want and we can get it, we'll do it. So these are just a selection of the things that we've had in the last couple of years. So we add to this list quite frequently. And also if students don't want to do something, we can take it out and replace it. So, you know, this just gives you a bit of an idea of which public services might come in. We've done a prison visit previously. We've got a link with Humberside Police that go in and do a counter-terrorism workshop, so that we look at the methods of terrorism and we look at how public services and how businesses try to prevent the effects of terrorism. So we'll look around the city and look at some of the methods that are used, like things like bollards to prevent vehicles coming onto pavements and things like that. We have multiple public services coming in and doing things like careers talks, fitness sessions, and we sometimes go out and do kind of adventurous activities as well. So as I say, it all kind of depends on what the students are looking for at the time. We have a nice variety. So we're going to move on to some questions now. So there is a tab for you in the Teams app to put forward some questions. You can put your name if you want to. If you want to leave it anonymous, that's also fine. That's
If you have any more questions, if there's anything that we've not answered today, then please email me on cja@wilberforce.ac.uk.